Digital money is coming and the European Central Bank is preparing for that, and they openly coming out talking about it. We are going to have a look at a video from Christine Lagarde published on the 1st of January. It's very interesting because the things that she says, we have to listen good, but they are very interesting. But also the symbolic things that we can find in this video too. Maybe there is a correlation. Later in this video, guys, I'm going to link basically a magazine from 1988 with Elon Musk and what's happening right now with X payments and with the Grok artificial intelligence. So guys, let's jump straight into it.
I want to wish all of you a happy new year. Happy, healthy, prosperous 2025.
Thank you. Thank you. Guys, when I was a kid and I would look at these videos, I would always think by myself like, wow, these grown-ups, they know exactly what they do. They must be so smart. But deep inside of me, I would always have the feeling, especially as a kid, of course, because I had different focuses. I wanted to play outside, but I had the feeling inside of me, this is so extremely boring. Extremely boring. But they must have figured it all out. They know that's what I felt, because the way that they talk. But right now, when I look at this video, I just feel sadness. Because if we really zoom out, there is literally a soul coming to this planet, right? A soul that also has a divine connection, that is also coming from divinity, from the universal mind, right here expressing itself in a way that it wants to control others. It wants to exploit others. It wants to create an illusion that these others cannot see through. So if you look at it from that perspective, it's actually pretty sad, and we should have a lot of empathy with her that she actually came on this path, right? I mean, this is probably very far away from who she originally is, her true self. So yeah, that is just my thoughts. Now let's have a look further at what she's saying.
Of course, we will continue our efforts to ensure that inflation stabilizes sustainably at that 2% medium-term target.
Of course, we will continue our efforts to steal money from you, but still in a way that you will accept it.
We will also be reviewing our monetary policy strategy. Why do we do that? We just did that in 21. Well, we're doing it to ensure that it still fits the changing world in which we live, and that we are fit for 25 and following, with developing a digital form of cash, your digital euro.
So yeah, guys, you heard her saying it's going to be our euro, and yeah, I just want to, like, the interesting thing, we can make a big jokes about this, but like the interesting thing what's happening here is that they are just preparing us. That's the whole point, right? They are just preparing us of what's going to come. That's why she's announcing it. And imagine, like, if you would have this announcement, like, I don't know, 5 years ago, it will completely freak you out. But we are on a process, and slowly we are being prepared. We are being pushed in a certain direction to accept certain things. So the inflation too, like lately, there in many countries there is a lot of problems with inflation. And as far as I know it, with all the books that I've been reading, the only way that you actually the only way that we can have inflation, there will be some other things that I will mention, but in essence, the only way to experience inflation is by a increased circulating supply. So that's the same with tokens, right? So the more money that is being printed, the higher the circulating supply, the more inflation we are seeing. That is the only way that real inflation actually can take place. So the value of your money is decreasing because the circulating supply is increasing. Another thing could be, for example, that let's say the gas prices are going up because there is just less gas, right? The supply and the market dynamics of supply and demand, they will create that the prices of gas are going higher. This might be inflation too, but these are normal market dynamics, right? We can clearly see in the, for example, charts like the M2 money supply that there is a lot of creation of new money. And this is the only reason why actually any currency can become devalued. That's just by the increase of a circulating supply. And there's also hidden inflation. This is very interesting to note for the people that don't know about this. So let's say we have, like, I see it in the supermarket all the time. For example, for example, pesto. Like, if you have true Italian pesto, it's always made with olive oil. Pesto should always be made with olive oil. That's true, authentic Italian pesto. Like, if you go to Italy and they are going to make you some pesto, they will not going to use seed oils or cheap oils. But if you now go to the supermarket, you will see that there is basically, at least the supermarkets that I go, there are no pestos even available with olive oil. They are not there. That is a hidden inflation, because that means that the product of pesto actually becomes more expensive, but the ingredients to make that pesto are more cheap because they change the ingredients. And they do it very, very smart with many products. I do it often, go to the supermarket and look at the back, like, what is in this product. Sometimes you have like cheese. It really looks like Parmesan cheese. Parmesan cheese is cheese made from raw milk, and it's probably more expensive to make that type of cheese. But then you have a brand that's called Parano or something. It really sounds like, oh, Parmesan cheese, and then they have like the flocks, which you normally also have with Parmesan cheese, and then you look on the back and then you see like, wow, this is completely not Parmesan cheese. But the illusion there is, and this is also with manufacturing cost. So let's say when we get further in time, right, we have better technology. So it's becoming easier to make certain products because we have new machines. So the production costs are decreasing, but the sale costs are still increasing. This is another hidden inflation. So you can say that, yeah, but this product only costed €2 a couple years ago, but now $2.20. Yes, but for the manufacturer, it's even cheaper to make, but his margin doesn't increase because of the inflation, right? So these are other ways to look at it than just money that is circulating supply that is increasing, and then the devaluation of money occurs. But that's basically what happens. But what you can see right here in what Christine is saying is that, yes, they are going to go into a different direction, more digital direction in 2025. And she clearly says that in this video. But the interesting thing, the symbolic behind the symbols that we can find in this video, and I'm going to go to the corner right here because we are going to look at another video where we actually can see that her shirt that she's wearing contains the XRP logo. Let's have a look.
I want to wish all of you a happy new year. Happy, healthy, prosperous.
Wow. Let's have a look at her shirt. This guy made a really nice video about this. I first thought it looked like a fence, but look at this. Whoa. Wow. Wow. So that can be a super weird coincidence or synchronicity. Really depends how you look at it. We always know, guys, and this is something that I try to explain many people as well. When I'm starting a company, if I start a website, a company, or I make a marketing plan before with my projects, I would think everything through. I would really think everything through. So you would think about the steps that you're taking. Okay, which steps, which would have which consequences. Like, a lot of times in the politics, people say like, yeah, they make a lot of mistakes. But you have to imagine that every decision that is being made, people are literally sitting on the table discussing, planning these decisions. So when they, for example, like do all these lockdowns or have all these regulations or stuff like that, that is not in favor, eventually turns out coincidentally that it's not in favor for you and me, you have to think that many people, many so-called experts have been contemplating that idea. It's not like one guy just comes like, oh, let's do this. Oh, wow, it's not good. Oh, no, we didn't thought about that. No. That's not how it works. Like, people are really thinking about it. Multiple people are thinking about it, so they know exactly the consequences. So there was like one example. I can just give you one example that happened in the Netherlands. Like, they increased the prices for, I don't know if it's also alcohol, but they did it for cigarettes, and most people are going to Germany to buy the cigarettes there because it's way cheaper. And then you see in the news like, whoa, the government is losing so much tax money because everyone goes to Germany to buy cigarettes. For me, this is a huge red flag, because the lawmakers who make these laws of increasing the prices, they for sure know, one consequence is that people are going to look for different possibilities and that they are going to lose tax money. And when I see this, I just think they do that on purpose. They on purpose want maybe the government to have less money, something like that. That's why they make the prices so high. So the result, and you always have to look at the result is money goes to a different country, to the neighbor country. So that's with a lot of things, also with the lockdowns, right? So the story is always different than the result, and that's how you can separate truth from lies and intention. So when you, for example, have like, oh, it's for your health, we do this for your health, okay, what are the facts? The gym is closed, the shop where you can buy all your liquor is open, the McDonald's is open. Like, this doesn't really add up. Right, you want me to be healthy, but I can buy my alcohol, but I cannot go to the gym, for example, to sport. These are just like small examples, but then you can really separate the emotional state from the facts, right? So you can see one person becomes in charge of a certain country, and he is there for 4 years, let's say like 4 years, and you look, okay, what happened before that 4 years and afterwards? Let's just look at the facts. Did the suicide rate increase? Did the depression rate increase? Did the inflation increase? So if you like that guy, but you can look at all the statistics that right now it's way worse than it was 4 years ago, then you cannot else come to the conclusion that maybe we are completely being lied to. Maybe the decisions were not that good because the results are just not there. Results are just the manifestations, right? So if we are seeing negative manifestations, it means that there is a predominant negative energy that is governing what's going on. Okay, so now we're going to a very other interesting discussion, and this goes back to Elon Musk again. Like, there has been, and this has been discussed so many times. I'll put it right here on the side, guys. There's a cover from the Economist, one of the very famous magazines in the United States, and this was the cover from a magazine in 1988. And now I'm also going to say again, I'm going to link this to thinking and sitting around the table and making plans, okay? But let's have a moment and look at this cover. Okay, what do we see? We see a phoenix, we see like a bird, we see a token in front of that bird. The token even has like phoenix, so again, another X, that's funny. 10, it says 10, what else does it say? 10 Phoenix 2018. Okay, that's 20 years later. What else do we have? Then get ready for a world currency. Okay, so apparently in 1988, they were thinking about a world currency. Look at the logo. Look at the logo in the middle of that coin. Let's zoom in on that. That looks remarkably similar as to the logo of XLM and the logo of Grok, the AI logo from basically from Elon Musk from Twitter, the ChatGPT from Twitter. So one thing that I want to share right here, this is really laying on my heart, and this has been coming to me in the past years, because before I can bring you guys a little bit through my experience, right? And maybe you guys have a similar experience. So when I grew up, I was from when I was 15 years old to 25 or 24, I was partying, I was a student, I was not thinking too much. These grown-ups know. These grown-ups, they know what they're talking about. They got it all figured out. The world is a fair world. I'm just feeling a little bit guilty because I can party. I'm so blessed. But I always felt I'm completely different. So I would hear a lot of times from the teachers, Jeroen, why are you doing this? Jeroen, why this question? Why is Jeroen not here? Because I was often also not there. Very often. Because I never felt like I fit in. I thought it was the right thing. I thought those people were really smart. They must be smart, otherwise they were not in these positions. But I would always feel like I'm also smart, but I'm just not. I felt like I'm street smart. I'm not that smart in those positions. Until later, I start to realize that they don't even know what they are doing themselves. Many things that are being taught at school is not even true. It's not even reality. When I realized that, I was like, wow. So there are so many people that struggle so much with themselves, that cannot find a way that they are happy, but they are in a high position and people look up to them. That's where they get their energy from. That's where they get their fulfillment from, which is of course a bottomless pit, because there is no happiness or true love inside, because it's all clouded. It's all clouded. Of course, if you put everything away, you come with the true essence, there will be love, because we all coming from the same divine source. But some of us has just completely derailed from this. But back to the story. So this is what makes it so interesting. So later I start to realize, okay, many people, they don't actually know what they are doing. Many people are unhappy. Many people make the wrong decisions, and those are people in high positions that I usually, or that society expects from me to look up to. But then you have also this group that is super smart. The ones that are creating new industries. The Amazon, that for example, when they see a successful product going from somebody else, they would replicate that product. They would sell that product with a loss, as long as that competitor goes out of business. Then they have the monopoly, and then they will increase prices. This is strategically very smart. So when in 1988 the thought in the society, because this is a magazine, right? When the thought is get ready for a world currency, then do you really believe, and I did, but not anymore, do you really believe that banks were surprised when they saw Bitcoin? That's what we made to believe that. You and me went through probably to this whole story where we like we suddenly wake up, okay, the government, the money system is not that fair, okay, wow, why is not anybody doing something with it? Whoa, we got Bitcoin. Whoa, nobody knows who that is. Whoa, it's a cyberpunk. Whoa, it's a group of rebellious people. Wow, it's built to undermine the current financial system. This resonates with us. What I'm trying to say is that for us it came as a surprise, but for them it's probably planned, because they already know for years that this moment is coming. So what can they do? They can steer it in their own direction. But maybe I'm just thinking too much, and maybe that's not true. Maybe Bitcoin was a rebellious act and came into existence. Maybe aliens came to the earth and gave us Bitcoin to give a fairer medium of exchange possible, and then later they are inspired by that and creating and thinking about the CBDC. These are all possibilities. I'm not saying that I know the truth right here. What I'm just saying is that for me, it feels now when I'm waking up to all of this, it feels like, wow, you know that on the television and stuff, there are many lies. You know that there are very smart people. We know that in 1988, people were already thinking about a world currency. We know that this is already in the cosmos. So why is it for us a surprise in 2008? Wow, Bitcoin. This has been a lot of things that are happening right now that for us feels like a surprise, and we are in this wave, and we are in this adoption wave. It feels natural. Many people, hopefully good, but maybe also negative, have seen this coming, and they have applied strategies to this. Maybe Ethereum is a part of that too. I don't know. I've heard many things about Ethereum too. But it's very difficult, and that's also why I'm always saying that I'm not claiming to have the truth, because how can I know? How can I sit here in front of the camera saying to you that I know for sure? I can't do that, because I don't know. I don't know for sure. The only thing that I'm doing right now basically is I'm just sitting here analyzing the manifestations and just having the realization that that there is more going on than that meets the eye. And that a lot of things happened in back doors, in back rooms, deals are being made, plans are being made, people trying to conquer the world, people trying to get into power. It happens. And it happens in such a way that you and me are being manipulated into thinking that we are doing the right thing, while in fact we're actually helping, or we are part of the process that they have been initiating from day one. That is the crazy thing, and that's also why we have to be very careful also with the XRP thing and everything. Like sometimes take a step back, be grounded, feel a little bit, okay, what is going on? What are the facts? What are the facts? And could this be planned? Am I now being manipulated? Right? I didn't have that feeling. I've been promoting, like, imagine this. I don't know, but I sometimes have these thoughts. And this is me again putting myself in a very vulnerable spot. So let's say I came in touch with Bitcoin. I've been promoting Bitcoin my whole life. Let's say Bitcoin was created by central bankers, or I don't know, some secret government agency, any country, I don't know, to basically get a world reserve currency, to get more control, because they know quantum computing is coming, or they know they will get eventually 100% of the hash power, or they know with regulations they can rule over the hash power, so they can still centralize a decentralized system, but they introduce it as decentralization because that's the only way that people will accept it. I've seen it. I've resonated with it. I've been promoting it. Maybe I have been part of this too. That I've been promoting something that I've been psyoped to do. Yeah, it's really that, like, that's really how we have to think also a little bit. Even though it goes really far, that we have to feel that. That's why I also tell every single one of you, like, your heart is so important. Your heart is so important, because in your mind, you will be manipulated. But in your heart, in your true essence, you will see through all of this. You will see through all of this, and most likely you won't even worry about it in the first place. And you'll know what to do. You'll be guided and you know what to do. So yeah, I'm curious, guys, what you think about this. So yeah, what is this? 10? Doesn't the X means a 10? The logo really looks like XLM. That is also 10. Where would 10 stand for? I don't know. But a lot of things are going on, and it's. I don't think it's a coincidence, but maybe it can be. But I don't think it's a coincidence that that logo from the Phoenix, from that coin of the Phoenix, that is the same logo as XLM and Grok. This is just manifestations, physical manifestations of the same energy. So let's say there is an energy that wants to create a new world reserve currency to get more control about society, to basically to have a central entity controlling the global reserve, which is nowadays not completely. Mainly United States is in control of the finances, but not completely. Right? Not everyone is dependent on the US dollar. If the US dollar will collapse, there would be new powers that come to rise. There will be new currencies that will still have value because of different countries. But the logo of this coin, the logo of Grok and the logo of XLM, these logos are manifestations of that same energy. So that's like an energy, and that energy occupies people who work with that, and these manifestations of that energy is basically the same symbols that are coming out into our physical reality that we then see. So I don't think this is a coincidence at all. I think this is definitely signs that tell us that, hey, think these things are connected. These things are connected in some way, shape, or form. Energetically connected, intentionally connected. Maybe they have the same intention. So this tells us that it's the same. Actually, it's the same, and maybe I've said this before, but if you look at the Monster logo from the energy drink Monster, in Hebrew, that logo actually means 666. And that's very beautiful because that drink is full of caffeine. And I'm going to show you guys what caffeine is doing with spiders. So they made like a research, and they gave spiders various drugs. They gave it, I guess, even LSD, maybe even MDMA, but they gave it different drugs. But caffeine, if you see how the spider makes their spider web on caffeine, I don't know if you still want to drink that stuff. So let's have a look. It's crazy. It's really, really crazy, guys. Caffeine, and I'm drinking tea, I'm drinking coffee. So I'm not saying that I'm not drinking it, but I can feel it myself. If I drink too much caffeine, my mind, I just get really busy. I have a difficult time focusing. And when you have these kids, right, they drink all these half-a-liter Monsters, and it's actually stating already on the Monster. The logo is actually already stating 666, which means this comes from the energy that is trying to manipulate you, is trying to harm you. But this is also how it's manifested. So you see, if you can recognize it, the physical manifestation, you recognize that logo. So when you go to the streets, you can sometimes recognize symbols, and by these symbols, you will know whether something is good or bad for you. Because if it is, for example, like a 666, then yeah, of course, will make you think twice. And then when you look at the content of these things, it's like, if these kids are drinking half a liters of that is for sure not good for society. The youth, right now, guys, the youth I really want to have a moment for them. The youth have a very difficult time. The young people of these generations, they have a very, very difficult time. We have to pray. We really have to pray for the generation below us. The ones that are right now 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, till whatever, 20 something years old. Especially the younger generation, they have such a difficult time. We really have to pray for them, because imagine they are being born. We still had our youth where the sun shines, where the air was not polluted with chemtrails. We already had like vaccine. Our parents probably had it even better, but we still had it better than the new youth. The new youth is incarnated in this world, and they later maybe get it better. They have their own task in this shift, but we really have to stand still with that fact. We are very blessed, and we have to help the new generation. If you meet, if you have nephews, if you meet kids on the streets or whatnot, or I don't know, you are a teacher or something, whatever, like make sure to be able to give them true love, like care for them really. Maybe now and then, like, tell them what you think would be very good for them, like honestly, and that would not be, in my opinion, like something like put them full of medications and stuff like that, but more ideas that are in balance with nature. I think that is that's very important. That's very important. That new generation is going to be very important, and they are having a very hard time, and we need to see that. We need to respect that, and we need to pray for them. I really believe that. So yeah, guys, that was it for today's conspiracy video. All of these things are connected. Let me know in the comment section what you think about Christine Lagarde and her speech. 2025, like we already know, is going to be a significant year. But this just says we are seeing more and more manifestations of that digitalization. So we are in the later parts of this transition. So we are in the later parts of the transition from the elite, from that negative energy, but we are also in the later parts of the transitions from the positive energy. So these energies are like kind of like colliding right now. That's why there's so much turmoil, and that's why the world will shake so much. And for us, it's really important that we spread the light, that we will be standing in our own authenticity, that we will have a pure heart, pure love towards the rest of the world, even towards the ones right here that are not aligned with our energy. We have to have a certain understanding and love and know where they come from, because they come from the same divine source as you and me. They just moved away from it. They are just a little bit far away from it. They need to be redirected again to basically to the source. But okay, guys, that was it for today's video. Hope you all enjoyed it. Yeah, was nice, and I'll hope to see every single one of you in the next video, guys. Bye bye.